Hey everybody, hope you're well. I'm on with a quick live stream, and it is 10:45 p.m. in the east, which makes it 7:45 p.m. in the west. And I'm on with my good friend Nancy Sidebotham with this special report. Nancy, I'm glad you are here. Blessed you're here with me to talk about this really horrible news. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Vinny, and glad to be talking to you too.
Yeah. So Nancy, tell me, we were talking about this, and I wanted to make this a brief show about people stealing dogs.
Right.
What the heck is going on?
Well, they say that this particular breed of dog, the Bull Terrier, is the one to steal, and they found him in Mexico, and they're taking him out of state, etc. And in Oakland, the newest game and plan is you steal them, and they get ransom money for them.
I saw a report in the middle of preparing for this 3 years ago. A Bull Terrier was stolen for ransom for $1,000, but you said there was somebody on Nextdoor in Adams Point that had a worse problem?
Yes, she paid $5,000 to get her dog back. That was her offer, and she paid $5,000.
Oh my Lord, $5,000 to get her dog back.
But remember, they're selling these dogs for $3,000. So that's where the difference comes in. And then the other two Bull Terriers that were stolen at Safeway parking lot off Redwood Road, she paid a ransom to get them back. But I don't know what the price was on that. My guess is it probably around $10,000. That's my guess.
What do they do? Are they coming into someone's yard and stealing the dog? Or how is this going on?
No, they're holding you up on the street and grabbing your dog and holding a gun to you and taking the dog. That's what happened in Adams Point. She was walking her dog, and then Safeway, they broke into the car and stole the dogs in the parking lot while the person was in shopping.
This is nuts.
Yeah. Well, this is a new wave. It's the continuous wave that's been going on. It's just accelerating into different areas.
Is it fair to say that this is also a byproduct of high housing costs?
Anything's possible. I can't say that.
I mean, a mixture of high rental costs, jobs being cut because of the pandemic, right? And high inflation,
No, I would say it's a opportunistic game that's being played, because the jobs out here, everybody's hiring, but nobody's applying.
What kind of jobs?
Literally.
What kind of jobs are we talking about?
Safeway, the restaurants, gas stations, everybody's hiring. Nobody's applying. Waste management, and you know how much waste management pays. Mm-hmm. Nobody's applying.
Well, what about for jobs that don't require getting exposure to catching COVID?
Hey, I have no idea what's happening in that direction. I just know that these kids make more money on the streets versus going and getting a real job and earning a living and, keeping alive.
I guess what I'm saying is that there are a number of people who don't want those jobs. Like, I know, for example, here in Fayette County, Georgia, Kroger had a job fair, and they're still struggling to fill positions because no one wants to get COVID, because we have hospitals full of people with patients who are COVID stricken out here. And, it's a problem, right? So and then they got kids to take care of, and they don't want them exposed. And there's no credible government program yet to address where we're at.
Well, but that could be the case in this case, but, there's more money to be made in a short steal versus going and working, how many weeks before you make $10,000 or $5,000?
I'm not justifying what they're doing. I'm saying that.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying is that there are jobs available, and why people aren't picking up on them, that hasn't been made clear.
No, it's been made clear. It's because they're not safe, because they're in the middle of COVID and people are dying. And we have a population of 330 million people, right?
Right.
75 million have COVID. That's crazy. That's 1 out of every 4 Americans. That's wild.
And how many and now they've got a new strain that's coming out that's supposed to be worse than the one we just had.
See?
Or we're having.
Yeah. I mean, that would scare. Doesn't that give you the shivers? It gives me. It makes me.
Hey,
Like,
I'm on my P's and Q's and do what I got to do. I do taxes for a living. I know my clients, and that's as far as I go. I don't go partying anywhere. I'm not that crazy.
But at one point you were. At one point you were. Just kidding.
And that's a long time ago. Come on. I learned to read a book or fall asleep in front of the television. That's or do taxes.
What people
or mess around with the city of Oakland. What can I tell you?
Now, do you want to bring people up to date on your political?
No,
future?
not right now. Let's talk about that at another time.
Cool. Now, what do people do to protect themselves through this?
Sure. What? What? With the dog?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is, look at them in San Francisco when the woman was walking her dog. All they do is go take the dog out for a walk in their own neighborhood. And these kids are driving by and jumping out of the cars and holding a gun to them or just grabbing the dog and jumping back in the cars and taking off. That's how quickly it's happening.
Okay, so let's think this through then. Don't walk your dog alone. Walk either with a group of people who have dogs, right?
That's true. But remember, group of people having dogs or one person having a dog, you don't have anything against somebody holding a gun to you. These kids don't care.
Well, I'm saying that I would bet credits to Navy beans would be less likely to happen if you had 5 people walking their dogs, 5 dogs. And they could all say, hey, sick them, right? One person, next thing the person gets bit to whatever. It kind of changes the ratio, right?
It does, except that, hopefully your dog's not a sweetheart dog and doesn't know the first thing about what sickum means, okay? You need a German Shepherd right, I just went blank. But you need a big dog that knows how to take its ground and protect their turf. And a lot of dogs out there, they like to play. When they're on a walk, they're not thinking of protecting unless somebody looks like they're going to hit you, and then maybe they might protect.
Oh, by the way, Nancy, our friend and Zenny 62 Media vlogger and Oakland Mayoral Candidate Derek Sue just texted out on the program, with Lauren Taylor running for mayor, District 6 needs a new council person. And then prophetically, he then writes Nancy with a question mark. In other words, you?
Well, you can answer him and say yes, me.
There you go. She says yes.
I just admitted to it, okay? Just for that, because you set me up, the answer is, or he set me up, the answer is yes, I'm running.
I didn't set you up. I just asked you. Derek just came in. That was an ad hominem ad, okay? That was I didn't know Derek was going to come in like this. Derek is coming in hot. I didn't.
Well, based on where those guys are going, I'm going to be comfortable running for District 6.
All right. So Derek Sue says, I love it. So Derek, we just broke news here. Nancy Sidebotham is running for District 6, but her challengers, it should be noted who her challengers are, because they are, she's not alone, as they say, right?
That's right.
They are, those are the mayoral candidates, which, by the way, do you know there are now 14 mayoral candidates? But it's not mayoral candidate. It is, hold on a second. Let me go back and change this listing to get the right result. And I'll go to District 6. There it is. It's loading and it's not opening. Come on, open up. Seriously? Close that one. Open this. And let me refresh the screen. And while it's refreshing, bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
And so it is, Nancy, while this is refreshing, let me ask you, what do you think of the group of mayors that are people running for mayor?
Well, with ranked choice voting, it's going to be an interesting run because they're going to pull each other apart. And the name recognition is going to have a lot to do with it, as well as the money that's being brought in. But people need to wise up and do their homework and really study the characters that are running, because if you want Oakland to come out of the mess that it's in, you need to put somebody in office put people in office that are going to work for the whole city of Oakland and not just their hidden agendas that they have in their back pocket when they run.
And other than Sweet Fingers, which is just opened after being closed in 2019, we seem to have a wave of restaurant closures. Luca's is closed.
Yep.
Brown Sugar Kitchen is closed. Anybody that I missed?
I haven't been following that because I don't go to restaurants that much, but I do know, again, it has to do with COVID. Mm-hmm. And the fact that people are afraid to go out and go to the restaurants and stuff, and they can't with the rents the way they are, and a lot of these places they rent their space, they don't have the means to be able to pull it off, and they have to close.
Right. Okay, so we've got Nancy running, and here are our challengers, if you can see these now. They've got Paula Gonzalez, Keith Jenkins, and Lauren Taylor. They're the incumbent. And so, Nancy, you said you filed in February? Well, this is February.
No, I just sent in my 501 at the beginning of this month.
In the beginning of this month. So before the end of this month, we should see the update to this. And with Nancy's name appearing, 4 challengers, and Lauren is still, think about it. Even though Lauren told me he was going to change, and Shang Tao actually did change her status, Lauren is still acting against the law. You know, I mean, I like Lauren, but it is what it is. Okay,
it is what it is.
He's putting out this political head fake or whatever he's doing, and he is not making it clear if he is either running for mayor or city council. Okay, because his name is still here, right here. Meanwhile, the reason why I say that, folks, is because I had made this issue an issue for some time, but Shang Tao was in a similar position. Our District 4 council member, she was also running for mayor, had herself running for re-election for District 4 and for mayor, but then within roughly a month of filing and having her name appear, guess what? She took her name off the running for District 4. So I said to Lauren, she's doing it. Why aren't you doing it? I didn't get an answer. Right? So anyway, wow.
Hey, and life goes on. What can I tell you? This is Oakland.
Yeah, where it's okay to run for 2 offices at once and no one says a thing. Okay, gotcha.
One of the things that needs to be looked at is Janani may not be in District 4 with redistricting. So that needs to be checked out.
So, but the redistricting will be approved prior to the...
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Remember, we don't take papers out to actually run until July. Right now, people are just putting their names out there to raise money and do what they got to do to politic. But the actual papers, and until you take those papers out and you hand them in and they are approved, you don't really know who's running.
But here's the thing. Are you telling me that you're confident that the city clerk's office will make the change in the names and where they're supposed to go if somebody happens to all of a sudden live outside the district yet is listed to run in the district?
Well, that's going to until the redistricting is finalized and stuff. Everybody's just sitting and waiting, and I think that Janani may move. I believe she's a renter, and she can move to into the district that she wants to run for.
Well, that's wild.
And remember, she has 30 days before July 8th, I think it is.
Well, let me ask you though, why shouldn't that be grandfathered for this reason? When a person takes out a decision to run, right? They do so on the basis of a boundary and the idea that boundary is not going to change. But now what she would have to do is basically spend extra money to shift herself.
Right.
Or get out of the race. Because of where
hopefully she doesn't get out of the race because she deserves a seat.
Oh, absolutely.
But I believe that the way it is, they're going to stick to where they are in this because that's the way it is. That redistricting should have been done by December 31st, but that's a whole other ball of wax.
Well, but a relevant one, because if it happens to spill over, well, excuse me, if it happens to, it is spilling over into the election.
Of course it is, because they didn't do their job, and they had nobody to tell them what to do, because we don't have anybody in the city that knows how to do things anymore.
So why should Johnny be held hostage for that?
Because that's the game even if they went to court on it and she tried to stay in there, they're going to have to throw her out, because she's not in the district that she's running for. She needs to live in the district. Let's not go into who didn't live in the district when they were on council. We can do that.
Okay, let's. No, go ahead. Educate us. Go ahead.
No. I'm not. I just mentioned that. It's something that you can investigate. I'm not mentioning names and who, what, where.
Gee, I wonder why.
Gee. Now, ask me when I get really ticked off about something that the city's not doing and stuff, and the community is getting screwed over for, as they've been doing to the community for the last, 12, 14 years now, based on who's been in office. Then maybe I'll start talking. But right now, it's not, it's not worth mentioning that. But the games have been played over the past, and even though the media's been told about it, they never did anything about it.
Well, yeah. Well, this media is doing something about it. Cat's out of the bag, folks.
but this is after the fact, so I'm not mentioning names.
All right. Hey, folks. As we close, I promised her a short show. Go to the alley, 3325 Grand Avenue, and we'll have Nancy back later to talk more about what's happening. And also, but back to the main subject regarding dogs being stolen. Your dog, they're going after your dog for ransom in Oakland.
Yep.
Folks, walk in groups of people. Do not walk your dog alone. Have a dog walking group. Just like people have walking groups around the lake, do the same thing. Have a dog walking group that defending protection in numbers. Go ahead.
On top of that, Vinny, don't leave your dogs alone in the car anymore.
Right. You should never do that anyway. You should always take your dog out of the car.
Well, if you're going in shopping, you used to be able to leave your dog and the windows open and be able to go, but we don't live in that kind of a world anymore.
I would never. I've had a dog. I would never leave my dog in a car, ever.
I'm just saying. This is the way it's been, and now it's no longer that way.
Well, Nancy,
be aware.
Nancy, stick around in the background. Oh, Derek Sue just posted. He goes, "Good luck trying to steal my 100-pound American Bulldog." See, hey, Derek, you need to form, You need to form a walking group for the people who have, Chihuahuas, Cocker Spaniels, right? Right? So,
feed them waffles.
Well, yeah, see, there you go. See, that needs to be that's on you, Derek. In fact, hey, you know what? There's another little feather in your cap for your mayoral campaign. You could have the Derek Sue for Mayor dog walking group. Right there. The Derek Sue.
Feed them waffles. Don't forget to feed them waffles as treats.
And don't feed them waffles as treats. There you go. See? She's got the right idea. Hey, Nancy, stick around in the background. Folks, that ends this broadcast. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com.